Before we start this, I want you all to introduce yourself as your fathers would.
I don't know what my dad would say. I can just call him up and ask him.
You're gonna call him up?
Yeah.
Please,
I mean,
please
if he's free.
Let's find that out.
Fine.
Let's find it out.
Let's not find that out.
Ringing.
Hello? Papa,
And we immediately hit the ground running. We're calling up our casting director. We're looking at options.
Gaurav's drawing.
चलेगा क्या?
Also, I think we kept a timer.
Yeah.
We
For
have a timer.
for
Ma'am, 1 minute हो गया है.
I think we gave.
Actually, that was a challenge for us to fit that whole script into
Yeah,
1
we didn't
minute.
talk about it.
And because that was the brief कि हमको 1 minute में ही बनाना है.
And I think I'm giving an insight right now. But I just thought that that is my conviction. I'm writing this from all my heart, and this is something that I have seen around me. And I imagine my sister talking.
So shout out to your sister. Well, thanks
For
to
delivering
her.
a baby. It's fun that we are doing this episode.
Hi, I'm Bhaavika and welcome back to another episode of Creative Debrief. Today we are going to talk about an ad. Actually, you know what? Let's just watch it first.
हाय शुरू कहाँ करूँ आई डोंट नो पर जैसे कि तुम कहते हो गो विद द फ्लो रिया सो बी इट 16 जून हमारे लिए काफी बड़ा दिन होने वाला है पर मैं रहूंगी डिलीवरी रूम में और तुम बाहर चक्कर काटोगे तो सोचा आई रिकॉर्ड दिस वीडियो टू कीप यू कंपनी आई जस्ट वांटेड टू लेट यू नो दैट ये 9 महीने सिर्फ मेरे नहीं थे मेरे लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस तुम्हारे लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस बन गए मेरा ऑफिस का रूट तुम्हारे ऑफिस का नया रूट बन गया और मेरे मिडनाइट क्रेविंग्स तुम्हारे But I'm not surprised because while I was taking care of this, you were taking care of us. And to be honest, it wasn't just me that was pregnant. It was we pregnant together. So thank you for being silently pregnant with me. इसे सब नोटिस किया है सिर्फ अभी बोल नहीं सकता So we both want to wish you a very 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 happy Father's Day.
रिया
चले
बस 1 मिनट
तुम्हारे शूलेसेस रेडी
No wonder it's a masterpiece, guys. And we have the Karta Dhartas of the film on board. Please welcome Shantanu, Gaurav, Pooja and Aman.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, before we start this, I want you all to introduce yourself as your fathers would.
Fathers, नालायक तो नहीं बोलेंगे, पर I think he says कि वो कुछ करता है, फिल्म उसकी आती है टीवी पर, कुछ करता है थोड़ा मोटा, और that's it. I mean, he just says that I work at Schbang. I mean, that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gaurav, what about you?
He would just say कि ये videos बनाता है, फिल्में बनाता है. My father's a business guy. There's no background. There's no point of overlap, so he doesn't really know too much about it. I actually want to get him on set once, just so he has an idea of how things work and what my role is in the entire thing. So until that day happens, he's going to be a little clueless.
And then he would tell you a cut.
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, maybe he'll tell me you're taking too much or you're being difficult. I'll take his feedback.
I can probably second that.
Yeah.
Okay, man, what about you?
So my dad actually knows that I'm into production. He has an idea more or less what I do. So when he does introduce me to people, he says that he's a producer and he's in charge of making films basically.
No, fab. Pooja.
I don't know what my dad would say. I think I can just call him up and ask him. Can I do that?
You're gonna call him
Sure,
up?
go
Yeah.
for it.
Please,
I mean,
please
if
go
he's
for it.
free.
That would be damn interesting. Go for it.
Are you going to put it on speaker so we all can listen?
Please do.
I
yeah.
don't know if you
Is
want
that
that.
too much to ask from your dad?
He's pretty proud of me, so I don't think so he's gonna say anything.
Let's find that out.
funny.
We'll censor
Maybe
the
let's
galleys.
not find that out.
He's very emotional about him, and now that I'm married, he's more attached. So yeah, you're not gonna
Okay,
get
it's
that
ringing, it's
contact.
ringing.
हेलो पापा, अगर आपको मुझे इंट्रोड्यूस करना हो अपने किसी रिलेटिव या फ्रेंड को एज योर डॉटर एंड समबडी हु इज वर्किंग इन दिस फील्ड, तो आप कैसे उसको मतलब कैसे मुझे इंट्रोड्यूस करोगे?
वेरी इजी बेटा, तेरे लिए बोलना तो 2 मिनट की बात, 1000 लाइन बोल सकता हूँ.
He's like, I can say 1,000 lines for you.
Oh,
See, I told you.
this turned out
Cute.
unexpectedly wholesome.
चाइल्ड, बट इसने कभी मेरी कोई चीज को डिग्रेड नहीं किया.
Oh.
हमेशा इसने हर वो काम के लिए मेरे से पूछ के किया है, मेरे से परमिशन वर्ड यूज कर रहा हूँ मैं बहुत सोच समझ के. अगर मैंने कोई चीज को ना बोल दिया या कोई बात, इसने पलट के ये नहीं पूछा मेरे को कि आपने मुझे ना क्यों बोला है.
Oh,
He always respect my.
we are having a second Father's Day episode.
It is, definitely.
Describe it in
I
one.
think, I'm observing.
For Pooja.
I'm observing already.
She is self-made person. उसने हमेशा अपने
Uncle, belated Happy Father's Day.
जो भी आज लाइफ अचीवमेंट की है, टोटली ड्यू टू हर डेडिकेशन, ऑनेस्टी एंड हार्ड वर्क.
Thank you, Papa.
The last 3 things that I heard was honesty and hard work, and I am already sold about it.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, that was my introduction,
Great
guys.
start.
Also, people, before we begin, there's going to be a fun rapid fire in the end that you surely don't want to miss. But before that, I want to start. What exactly was the process of this master work that you all have brought together?
I mean, it's fun that we are doing this episode. How it all started, I think, Pooja, you can just take this through.
So, we just onboarded this brand, and this was like a very first project with them. Like, if we didn't like even enter into that agreement, and if nothing was happened, it was just that it was one project that they wanted us to do for them. And yeah, they had a brief that Metro is very millennial, male-focused brand. We want to do Father's Day, something that gets stuck in the mind of our audience, which is like the primary focus was the male audience. So we were like, ठीक है करते हैं, मतलब for the dads, the new, we thought of using some, today the dynamics for dad, like the parenting has changed a lot.
Correct.
Like what we had with our parents versus the parents that today the male are, like they are more friendly, they are more involved in their child's life. In earlier time it was more respect and they were the bread earner, they used to just be there, but moms were the primary part. But now it's changed to be focused on that. But randomly just one day we've done all our work, we've done all our research, we've built like a film on that, and whole scripting and everything was done. Suddenly one day a client tells us कि एक काम करते हैं, pregnant women की POV पे कुछ सोचते हैं, newbie dads पे. And
So this came from them. They
Yeah.
came up with this POV on the whole.
yeah, they were
Okay.
like कि चलो कुछ एक let's think of the journey of fathers during pregnancy. So
That's very cool.
But
Actually.
that's a
Cute
good
Yeah.
idea.
You
It's
know, but
breaking stereotypes.
it's breaking stereotype, but our first response was like it's very difficult.
How do we
And
do
yeah,
this?
it's
How
very,
do we
because there's a
move
very
ahead?
thin line, how you should not like we cannot offend the journey of women as well, because
Correct.
that's the bigger part of the whole pregnancy. Like you don't want to
Fair.
demean that struggle
Steal the
and the
thunder.
sacrifice, and of course steal the thunder. And while also appreciate the effort and support the guy would bring to the table. So that was a very challenging task that we had, and it was we just had 1 week to do it with
Beautiful,
everything, like to take it live.
But how did you all like this? Such a fresh concept. I mean, I've never seen talking about pregnant to be fathers. But how did you all arrive at this thing कि यही करना है?
So I think the checkpoint came from them that हमें कुछ तो POV चाहिए pregnant women का. Fun fact, I'm not on this brand. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not the account lead or whatever
He was
they say.
just hearing
others
his
say. It's not
hearing
my
a rant.
brand.
He was hearing
Go.
a rant when we were talking about it.
And
He was just
actually,
there.
randomly, to start with, I was actually going for another brief meeting
Okay.
of a different brand. And in the cab, Ertiga थी और Ertiga के पीछे बैठा था, in the last seat. And our account lead and VP was there, and they just asked कि यार कल ना 12 बजे मीटिंग है मेट्रो की फादर्स डे, और बहुत सारे फादर्स डे बैक टू बैक चल ही रहा था. 12 बजे मीटिंग है, कुछ सोच सकता है क्या? अभी आई थॉट दैट देर इज नो अदर क्रिएटिव टीम टू वर्क ऑन इट और समथिंग लाइक दैट, कि उनको बैंडविड्थ नहीं है जो भी है. कि ठीक है, कुछ सोचता हूँ, कि ऑलरेडी मेरे पास बहुत सारा काम था. बट आई जस्ट थॉट कि ओके दृष्टि, मेरे पास एक कुछ थॉट है, लेट मी बिल्ड ऑन इट. सो वैसे मैंने सिर्फ उनको बोला, तो मैंने एक वन लाइनर बोला कि से यू नो माई फादर समवॉट इज अ डायबिटिक. ओके. And what happens is usually in the morning, sometimes when he has tea, or sometimes when his diet has been decided, if he has tea in the morning, for example, he does not have tea with sugar. And when mother makes it, she has a sugarless tea along with him. So is she a silently diabetic? Is she silently diabetic? I think I'm giving an insight right now. But for a diabetes brand. But this is where it all started. तो क्या हो सकता है इसमें, इस स्पेस में क्या हो सकता है कि ऐसे जो लोग हैं जो दूसरों के लिए कुछ करते हैं, क्या वो इक्वली उस जर्नी में है उनके साथ. एंड सो दिस इज जस्ट द वन लाइनर आई गिव. कमिंग बैक टू द नेक्स्ट डे,
तो बेसिकली आपको स्टोरी घर पे ही मिल गई.
स्टोरी घर पे मिली, मतलब इनसाइड घर पे मिल गया. तो आई जस्ट थॉट कि ऐसे जो लोग हैं जो दूसरों के लिए कुछ करते हैं, कैन आई वर्क ऑन समथिंग लाइक दैट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल POV ऑफ प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन. अभी अगर एक औरत 9 महीने के लिए प्रेग्नेंट है, तो ऑब्वियसली उसकी एक फैमिली है, उसका एक उसके लोग हैं आजू बाजू जो कुछ चीज़ करेंगे उसके लिए. बट द साइलेंस पार्ट केम फ्रॉम देम देयर. सो आई जस्ट थॉट कि कैन आई प्ले विद दिस साइलेंट वर्ड और साइलेंट प्रेगनेंसी, साइलेंटली प्रेग्नेंट, समथिंग. कैन आई डू दैट, बट नॉट श्योर कि क्या करना है. सेकेंड डे अगेन आई जस्ट लेट इट गो कि ठीक है, जब भी आएगा तब आएगा. 12 o'clock the meeting is there. And 11:30 Drashti dropped in a message to me, and I was working on a different Father's Day project. I was like, shit, ये भी आज pitch करना है, वो भी आज pitch करना है. तो I thought कि जाने दे, मैं नहीं इन्वॉल्व होता हूँ इसमें, because it's not my brand. I mean, मुझे इंडक्शन लेना है, सब कुछ करना है उसके ऊपर, थोड़ा रीड करना पड़ेगा, स्टडी. बट एक एंगल होता है ना कि आप जानते हो कि ये ब्रांड क्या करता है. तो दृष्टि मैसेज में 11:30, तो आई थॉट कि यार ये तो सीरियस है, कुछ तो लिखना पड़ेगा, कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. हाँ, मतलब अल्टीमेटली 11:30 12 o'clock को मीटिंग और 11:30 को मैसेज आ रहा है, तो दैट मींस
she was joking before. She was like,
yeah, I thought कि ये मे बी हो गया रहेगा काम, तेरे से कुछ आता है तो बता दे.
someone else came up with something.
Yeah, and I said okay, I'll try to give something right now. 1 second. I woke up मतलब I was awake. I took out my pen and paper, like I started jotting down something, and again 11:55 meeting is started. They are here. I'm like, yeah, I'm joining. You start the meeting, I'll join. And I'm still thinking that the other team has not joined, or for example, they don't have an idea. I was under that impression.
It was an SOS situation.
Yeah, they don't have an idea. I feel that क्या बोलेंगे, मतलब strategy बोल के आगे क्या बोलेंगे?
You know, but a lot of creators say this, that at points of stress or when you are really
I think so.
for time and pressure is when the ideas burst out.
Exactly. I think
And
that
you can take all the time and like mull over ideas, but then until the deadline's here, it won't like spill onto the page.
Correct. And I think that's true. वही होगा. And happened so कि 12 o'clock the meeting started, and I started writing something, and 12:15 I joined the meeting. They're halfway through the meeting, and I think it was a beautiful script by Elsa, which was already being discussed.
Yeah,
it was about to be made.
Yeah, we had one more script, we had one more film on the same POV, a different version to it, and we were presenting that to the client because we had the original creative team also to come up with one idea. So we were presenting that, the client was liking the idea, it was more or less approved also, and everything, like it was all the meeting, we were about to end the meeting, but we saw that he's joined the call now. First we were thinking that ठीक है यार 11:55 तक बंदे ने कुछ लिखा नहीं है तो क्या ही होगा, जाने दो, we only have this one.
Let's go ahead.
उम्मीद ही नहीं है.
Yeah, so we were like, we only have this one. We took the client through it, they liked it, we got it approved, everything. Then we saw that he's there on the call. So me and Drashti just looked at each other and we're like, ठीक है चलो, मैंने बोला client को ठीक है. So we also have one other option. It's like a little regional, like we've done it in Hindi. We think that Indian audience would relate more and all of that. So while this is approved, we still want to present this.
Previous one was also approved.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you also, Metro का जो previous ads है, they are all in English.
Yeah.
Okay, they're English. उनका जो tonality
Modern,
is more
it is,
modern in English.
yeah.
And I wrote this in Hindi because whatever I could write or think at that moment, I just लिख दिया. And it was a good script. I mean, I think that is when I realized that someone has already worked on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, यार मेरे को क्यों बोला फिर? I joined in. I'm like, suddenly they have put me on spot कि okay, शांतनु present कर ले. I'm like, shit, क्या लिखा है तो sell तो करना पड़ेगा. मैं बोला कि okay. So guys, I again gave this example of my mother and my father. She does that. So I'm like, okay. So what if we do something for silently pregnant? And to go ahead for
And
this.
who said this?
I said this.
You said.
हाँ कि हम लोग आपका जो POV है, pregnant woman के POV से आपको लिखना है. I told them कि what if we do something like a husband is also silently pregnant with the women. And I mean the main script का core जो था वो again came from my observation because I mean my sister got pregnant recently and I saw my Jiju being there doing things or maybe you know wholesale से वो डाइपर्स कहाँ मिलते हैं, कुर्ला वेस्ट में मिलता है, ये वहाँ से मिलता है, ऑल दैट जो टिक बॉक्स करना होता है प्रेगनेंसी वो कर रहा है. एंड तो वो ऑब्जर्वेशन वहाँ से है तो मैंने वही लिख दिया. यू नो वो लाइफस्टाइल चेंज मेरा लाइफस्टाइल चेंज, वो डाइट मेरा डाइट, वो मॉर्निंग रूटीन मेरा मॉर्निंग रूटीन, ऑफिस का रूट मेरे ऑफिस का रूट. तो जो ऑब्जर्व किया मैंने वो मैंने लिख दिया एंड दे एब्सोल्युटली लव्ड इट एंड दे फ्लिप्ड ऐसे फ्लिप हो गया कि मतलब वो पहला जो स्क्रिप्ट था जो सुनाया गया था विच वॉज ऑलरेडी अप्रूव्ड, दैट वाज लाइक कि ओके लेट्स वर्क ऑन दिस एंड वी आर ट्राइंग टू गो बैक टू द प्रीवियस स्क्रिप्ट कि सर पर वो पहले स्क्रिप्ट पे क्या सीन है आपका. नहीं लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दिस, ये थोड़ा हम लोग के जोन में है. लाइक दृष्टि एंड ये सब बोले कि हिंदी में तो नहीं, what we'll do is we'll mix it with some English bit and we'll make it little modern, little more colloquial. I'm like, okay, the flavor is coming in Hindi.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge and we made that challenge. We you know told them ki boss, you do this in Hindi, I think it will work out more. And that is what happened.
Yeah.
The emotions would come out more in
much
the
better.
Hindi language.
Yeah, I mean English is there obviously. Language is not a barrier at the end of any film that you see, but I feel the emotions, the right emotions when it comes out, sometimes वो mother tongue में बहुत अच्छे से बाहर आता है.
Correct.
तो
That's how people talk at
Yeah,
home also.
actually-
It's a mix of Hindi and English all the time.
I mean I think Indians generally
It
जो
seemed very
भी जहाँ से-
natural. It wasn't
it looks
staged.
organic,
Yeah,
right?
it didn't look
very
staged.
organic.
It looks organic when
Correct.
you talk like how
Like
you
the whole
would.
film itself
Yeah.
looked so natural that I was actually watching the edit at home. And my mom walked into the room and she was like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I thought like you're in a meeting, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not a
Yeah.
meeting, I'm just watching the video.
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
she could hear the
Someone,
actor
like,
saying
talking.
that, hi, you know, everything.
Yeah,
So
the-
it just
it
seemed
feels
so
like more
natural.
personal.
Yeah,
literally.
it's more conversational. Yeah.
correct.
But do we realize कि majorly जो सारा creative content है वो हमारे आसपास ही होता है. Like he
Yeah,
literally
correct.
wrote the entire script. What's going around him उस basis पे.
Correct.
Yeah, I had to because I had to deliver in 15 minutes. So I was like, shit, what can I write? Because I cannot create something of my own. And as rightly they say, you know, sometimes it's a very glorious thing actually, कि men written by women.
Exactly,
It's
yeah,
more,
that's a
it
quote.
comes out more
Yeah.
naturally
Correct.
and beautifully. Again, women written by women also comes out more gracefully. But I think, you know, a true story or true script, when it hits you here, I think वो कोई भी लिखे उसमें अगर ऑब्जर्वेशन हो जो यू नो जनरल ऑडियंस को कनेक्ट करता है या फिर उसको उनको देखते वक्त ऐसे लगे यार ये मेरे साथ हुआ है, तो आई थिंक वो कोई भी लिखे
It solves the purpose.
इट सॉल्व्स द पर्पस.
Correct.
Correct.
या तो वो कोई भी लिखे तो इट सॉल्व्स द पर्पस इफ
Yeah.
द ऑब्जर्वेशन इज देयर, एंड दैट इज व्हाट हैपेंड. Also one more thing that I remember is again the budget. That was in my mind, like they had given me an estimate ballpark कि ऐसे The
So
budget
you
is
have to keep the budget in mind while you're writing also.
not really. But they had told me कि it's already on board or somewhere it's getting to be on board. So हम अगर sell करना है या फिर we want them to work with us, just make sure you keep it a little tight.
Okay.
कि उसको जरा
Yeah, I think even with the first script, there were like many locations, there
Correct.
were
Yeah.
many actors involved also.
Correct.
I don't think that would have been possible in the limited resource.
Yeah.
that
But that's where our
It wouldn't.
expertise would have
Clearly
come.
wouldn't.
That we had to, if that film actually like got approved, like if there was no second script and वो first script के साथ ही हमें आगे बढ़ना पड़ता, तो we would have to fit
I mean,
that in the
ideally,
budget.
we would have figured it out
Yeah.
if we had to.
yeah, I mean that was there.
But
it is
God
it is,
bless you.
no,
figuring
it
this
is
out.
actually so
So it
easy.
kind of made
It's
life
actually
easier.
it's a one line statement, to be honest. As a writer, I can tell you this, that a helicopter dashed a wall. It's so easy to write, but to produce it,
Correct.
I mean, just think.
Yeah.
What's the budget going to be? Just one line, and it's huge.
Yeah.
So while writing also, I think we have to take in consideration that, okay, I have to keep it tight. So I cannot move around 2 rooms. I cannot move around characters. I cannot have multiple characters. I have to talk about the shoes. Ultimately, it's a brand.
Correct.
So those were my checkpoints which I ticked. So that's why I said कि थोड़ा इसको personal बनाते हैं. So what can I do? Say आज video call बहुत famous है. Someone recording a video, I think that will solve the purpose. So the initial start of the film opens with she recording herself. Was the first thing I did, and that is how then it flowed. कि वो record करेगी, so that means it solves my purpose कि ज़्यादा location बड़ा नहीं चाहिए.
It's a very homely vibe.
Yeah.
तो एक ही
Yeah.
shot है, एक ही setup
Location
है.
बड़ा नहीं चाहिए.
Yeah.
Plus it makes it more personal. It's more a personal message. So let's say कि maybe they are going out somewhere, or maybe she's due in pregnancy, and she's recording this message beforehand for the Father's Day, which is coming on the 16th. And I'm writing this film on, I think, 6th or 7th
God, a week
June.
back.
A week,
Yeah, we just had
5,
like
6
5
days.
to 6 days to get the final script approved, from shooting to PPMs to edits, everything to go live.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
And you all made it.
Yeah.
And we made it.
In
Yeah.
6 days.
In 6 days. Yeah.
The beauty of the script was how he integrated the shoe and the brand without being it very upfront, without
It wasn't
the
forced.
it wasn't
again,
forced.
again,
The
it's a-
role
Even
of the
that came in
father.
very naturally.
Fun thing, I think, I
Yeah.
discussed with Gaurav, the first script actually belonged to something happening in a one take.
Yeah.
And that is where he stepped in and was like, नहीं, listen, ऐसे करते हैं, उसको break down करते हैं so that उसका impact थोड़ा ज़्यादा आएगा. The first script that I
तो वो
wrote,
फर्स्ट स्क्रिप्ट जो अप्रूव हो गई थी वो डायरेक्टर के पास पहुंच गई थी ऑलरेडी.
हाँ वो director के पास पहुंच गई.
you
वो
are
उसी
already
वक्त
working on it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
sent us that script also, like the older one. I got that script first, saying they wanted to make it, and then afterwards I got this one saying this is the one that's locked now, and we're going to move ahead with this one.
Oh.
So we are roped in very early on. In fact, we are
And you
always.
were
like-
already working on the first script.
I mean, we're not completely working because the turnaround time was so quick that this script came in and then maybe like a few hours later or something.
Yeah,
the other
within a
one-
couple of hours, they reworked everything and they're like, okay, now you stick to this one.
Yeah.
But it was more or less the same. There wasn't like too many drastic changes, I
Yeah.
would say.
I mean,
But
we
it
all-
at least helped us to get the ball rolling
Yeah.
with the first script. Then once the second one was finalized, we
So to shorten it up, timeline was 12 o'clock I wrote, 12:15 I pitched, 12:30 it got locked, 12:35, 45 it reached him, the director.
God.
That was
In a span of 45 minutes.
Yeah, in a span of
it
45
went.
minutes.
We
It was
were
like,
all
chalo,
like,
let's
अभी
do
इसको
it.
भेजो, अभी ये करो, like
Sounds so
Yeah.
exciting.
करते हैं.
yeah.
I think it's a plus also with Schbang that like the production department is very close and
Yeah.
on hand very quickly.
Yeah.
So you can literally just WhatsApp us a script.
Yeah.
It's also a minus because like it hasn't been locked and all yet. But it's so nice to sort of be on it from the get-go. And like we like immediately like hit the ground running. We're like calling up our casting director. We're looking at options, location
God.
options.
Your mood board is ready. In like
Yeah,
10
like
Yeah.
getting the mood board ready, like start referencing and like it's just like
Gaurav's
this-
drawing.
so like we said, the
Drawing.
ये
advantage.
चलेगा क्या? चलेगा.
Yeah. No, I think so. It's a unique thing to Schbang where the production department is sort of
But that's good in a way.
It's a
that
good
we
thing,
are
it's
involved
definitely
from
good
the
thing.
beginning. It's not like कि script दे दिया अभी हाँ तुम लोग का
हाँ.
problem करो.
Also, I mean,
They
just
take-
yesterday, I
yeah.
think I called you for a script that I was working on now.
Yeah.
कि boss इसको ऐसे करना है तो मैं can I do this? This will look much more, visually appealing. क्या लगेगा दोनों में से? So I can take some
So you're just
feedback and I
deriving
can write.
inspiration from
Yeah, I mean,
Just jamming.
Jamming.
Yeah,
It
like-
makes life easier for both parties. For
Yeah.
them also, they know, okay, what is achievable, and for us, we can tell them in this is what you can get.
yeah.
damn 6 days is really less. I mean 45 minutes mein it was already there to
It was there.
Yeah.
It was there. I think, see, every script has its fate, and this one got its. I mean, that is how I
There
can.
have been like contrary situations where the script takes forever to get locked
Yeah.
and goes
The
through like
BTS
iterations.
itself sounds like a Bollywood movie. Like it's like 6 दिन में पैसा double.
And literally, Gaurav and me have we worked
The
on
producer
projects.
can tell
right?
us if the paisa actually got
So
doubled.
we've actually worked on projects which, how long the scripts have gone on for like 2 months,
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
And sometimes at the end of that, they just drop the idea
Drop the
because they're
idea,
like, it's
scrap.
not working out.
Yeah.
So fortunately, the way things worked out, just one
Yeah.
by one, everything fell into place, but not fell into place. I would say like we had a lot of hiccups production-wise. But I'm glad like things
But
turned out the way
the
it
thing
did.
is, like, even the clients, even the team at our end, they were very proactive and there for us, like in terms of giving feedbacks or giving approvals, them reverting with the feedbacks.
Very quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
turnaround
turnaround
time
time
was very
for
quick. That
both the
saves
teams
so much
was very,
time.
Yeah.
they were very active. Like, even the clients were there on the set for the full time. Like, usually clients come for like an hour, two,
Oh,
they
okay.
see and they leave, right? Like, I've never like seen clients staying for all like the full day. They were there, they were noticing everything, giving feedbacks there and there, so that you don't have a lot of feedbacks during edits. So it saved
Yeah, that
us.
helps.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
though it was time sensitive.
Yeah.
you were saying something. Though it was time sensitive, I think the quality check was there
Yeah.
throughout. Because even if after the script was written, I think there were 3-4 rounds on it for the ending line, for the ending line, for the middle part.
On the same day.
On the same day, on the next day as well.
everything. We didn't have many
In
days
fact,
to work
there were
on
even
the
some
film.
last minute improvisations while shooting.
While shooting,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they came up with a couple of more lines,
Yeah.
like 1-2 revisions
Yes.
on the spot itself, which
Correct.
holistically turned out to be a good one.
And how was like the shoot looking like? The characters logged and everything. Can you tell me the direction process and whatever you all went through both of you all?
Yeah. But can I ask him a question before? that?
Definitely, please go ahead.
So the thing with the script is that it's like a monologue,
Correct.
It's just one person talking to camera, and like we're so used to like clicking to different things and switching tabs and
Correct.
the reels that just like completely eroding our attention spans.
Correct.
That did you still feel like people would watch this monologue, which even there was a time duration thing also on the script where we had to put it in a certain time duration, secondage.
Right.
But also the fact that people are just going to stare at this woman who's talking and they're going to sit through this whole thing and it's going to evoke some emotion in them. Did you have that confidence from the get-go? Because I also know that at the PPM, I remember Drashti bringing it up.
Yeah.
She brought it up at the PPM,
Yeah.
but Gaurav, do people actually want to listen to this random woman talking for 1.5 minutes?
Yes.
And I was like,
Yeah, like attention span is like
I mean,
close to 5 seconds.
what can I do?
We
Like,
had, and it was our major challenge to the duration of the script, because of course social pe logo ka time span, like focus is very less.
Less than
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Less
But
than
that's
5
where his
seconds.
writing
Yeah.
came into
Yeah.
help, right? Like the way he's written it, it was so seamless that even if you're watching it,
You want to see the whole
it's
thing.
intriguing. You're like, okay,
Exactly.
let's see what
It's
she's
ab
saying
kya
next.
aayega,
What's
ab
gonna
kya
happen?
aayega.
Like, what is this ad regarding?
But that's what I want to add on. Like, did you have faith that people are going to watch this monologue, people will stick to it for like 1 minute?
I guess I did. I had the conviction that, okay, people will sit through this, at least for the first 15 seconds where she's directly talking to the camera and there's nothing else happening. I think it's a it's a 40-minute or straight piece to camera.
Yeah,
40 seconds,
I
sorry.
think
40
one
seconds,
cut
yeah.
shot
40
also.
seconds.
it's a one take. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
just talking.
it was designed as one take, but I mean the brilliance comes from him that he modified it to certain,
Yeah,
you know,
I was
elements.
watching that part again and again, the monologue, and I was like, the cut kidhar hai? Where is the cut? I need to ask Gaurav, where is the cut?
क्योंकि
That
और वो-
credit goes to the actor as
Actors
well.
as- yeah.
she held it.
We were all
Yeah.
very nervous that if the actor's gonna take multiple cuts, probably it may take us just 5-6 hours just to get this one shot
Yeah,
right.
of course.
And she
How
did a
many-
brilliant job. I mean,
Yeah.
how many takes
How
she
many
got
takes
it?
did she take for that one?
15?
15, yeah.
That's
Around
8.
15?
That's comparatively chill, right?
And that way we had variations, hence we had to take so many shots. Like we had couple of lines were like we had
Yeah,
variations.
so we had to add lines, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she literally managed to even learn those
Load-
lines on the spot,
set, yeah.
remove whatever was required. So
Also, I think we kept a timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kept a
how you
timer
timing
literally.
her speech, right?
You're timing
how
her
long is it
speech.
gonna be?
Ma'am, 1 minute हो गया
I
है.
think I gave a anecdote there of
Yeah.
some
So
director.
actually that was a challenge for us to fit
Yeah,
that whole script into
Yeah,
1
we'll
minute.
talk about it.
And like because that was the brief कि हमको 1 minute में ही बनाना है. But still like the monologue was only taking like a good amount of time. It was we couldn't do that. But even if we tried, I don't know if we tried editing also, the beauty of the script would have lost.
the essence would have
yeah,
been
the, you know, you need that time to convey that message.
So who thought के यार ये monologue भी करते हैं, and then that shot where the guy is entering the shoes thing, everything, how did, so you were sure कि ये 1.5 में fit हो जाएगा? Because I don't think वो 1.5
It was
में
supposed to
fit
be a
कर-
minute, right?
It was
But
it
then
was supposed
But I
to be.
think
we
it's
stretched it
1:15.
to 10,
Yeah,
15 seconds
It
more.
was actually
I knew it was going to be a minute and a half.
Yeah,
Because
that's
generally I know
That-
what it's going to be. The client, I think, needed it to be a minute and some. But yeah, but even on set, we were sort of timing her takes, and I was telling her to be a little quicker. Of course, I didn't want to spoil the organic nature of performance. And naturally, you know, you were talking about the pre-production of it. I just knew that the one important thing that needs to happen is she needs to give us a good performance, and we need to feel for this woman. You know, like everything else is secondary. Just because the film is just her talking to camera, and she needs to hold you, and she needs to
Captivate you, basically.
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah. So I just knew that we need to cast this couple properly, and so as soon as pre-production started, I think the first things we did was just call up our casting director and be like, we only have 2 days. Usually we have a lot more.
Yeah.
And our casting director is Tia. By the way, shout out to Tia. She's great. She's done a casting for a few of our
Yeah, quite
projects.
a few films for us.
And we just briefed her on this, and we told her we need this couple. And she immediately started lining up different actors. And at the end of every day, we get a lot of options and auditions to choose from, to pick from. So that process began very early on. I mean, as quickly as we could, because the time is of the essence. You know, there were, even after we sort of decided on Chrisanne, there were like auditions still coming in, because people were like, no, we wanted to audition, but now somebody's locked. But anyway, so yeah, these lots began to pour in, and actually, Chrisanne, who got locked for the film, and she was great, was the first audition that I saw. Like she was, yeah, and then I saw another 30 or 35 after. But then I saw her, and like immediately she got the emotion of it all, and she just knew, and you could see it in her eyes. I don't know how. Maybe I should ask her, have you gone through something, or like where is this coming from? Yeah. Because she got it immediately.
Some sort of relatability factor
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, even the client, I mean, when they saw the 3 which he shortlisted, immediately they selected her within a
her,
span of, I
correct.
think,
So
10
you all
15 minutes.
send the script to her, and like the
To the casting director, yeah, and they sent it across to everyone and told them that send us audition tapes, which then they did. And
and they all performed a monologue.
They all performed the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
monologue. Like they
Yeah.
all showed up, and the thing with this is it's just talk to cam, so it's very easy for them to
Shoot
audition.
it,
So
yeah.
they all just went for it, and I saw so many different performances of this one piece of writing. That also as a director,
there are so
I'm-
many ways that
So-
it
Yeah,
can
yeah.
come across.
It
Yeah,
actually
so-
helps me.
Just to add to your point, to come back to your question also, ki, did I have the conviction to, hold or write that 1 minute of monologue, 1 minute of monologue? Yeah. इट वॉज सिंपली दैट अगर कोई ये दिल से बोलेगा ना तो कनेक्ट होएगा. Even when he was going through all the auditions, Krisan I think was the closest and perfect जो दिल से बोल रही थी वो. And that's why if someone talks to you from heart, I think उसको I mean the minutes go like this. You know, it just the time just passes by. So I just thought कि that is my conviction. I'm writing this from all my heart, and this is something that I have seen around me. And I mean I imagine my sister talking.
Also, shout out to your sister. Well, thanks
For
to
delivering
her.
the baby.
Actually,
Impeccable timing.
Getting pregnant.
yeah.
All thanks to her. That's how the script
Yeah,
came
yeah,
into
totally.
fruition.
But I
Guys,
imagine my
before
sister
we
talking to
proceed,
me.
I want all of you all to clap for each other. Yeah. It's amazing. Please, please. मतलब 6
No
दिन
doubt.
में 45 minutes में the script is logged. The first actor was shortlisted. Like one go में the actor is
Yes.
shortlisted. Budget was really less, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
We'll definitely
Yeah.
come to
We
that.
have to come to that
But
also.
crazy job, yeah, guys. Crazy job. Good job. Thank you so much for bringing this.
Yeah, it
to
was a
us.
team effort, out and out, because
Yeah, literally everyone.
Everyone
like, from
was
start
there.
to end. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Also, you can
Correct. So now I want to know your process, Gaurav. Like, how did you begin with the entire direction? What was the brief given to you? How did you come up with it in like 3 days or 4 days?
Honestly, as soon as I get the script, usually I start doing some sort of a short breakdown in my head. And the one concern for me was that it's a Father's Day film, and yet we don't see the father till the very end of the film.
Correct.
So I really thought, okay, wait, the film is about him, but it's her talking for the majority of it. And like Shantanu said, he had imagined it as a one take, but I wanted to give the father due, you know. Because the thing is, she's on a monologue, she's talking about this guy for like a minute and a half, and she has really hyped him up as like this perfect guy and like idol of manhood.
Yeah.
And then he shows up, and then if it's not working or we don't believe in him also, it sort of doesn't work. So like again, I think also part of it comes back to the casting of it, that we cast these two different people in these two different roles, but then the way they look together is completely different, and that I can only see on set, you know, like if they hit it off immediately or if they have that chemistry.
And what's the criteria? Because the guy is just there for like 2 seconds or 3 seconds and then tying the shoes and we close
So
the
this
shot.
credit I would give to him also, because like he said, you have to show the
father,
connection between the two. Now we've taken audition tapes of the female, but the male had no audition. We just saw images of them.
Yeah.
So for him to literally think that ahead,
This guy
that
would
okay,
fit.
these two will look good together,
Yeah.
I would give him full credit for that.
Actually, it's credit to the actors like Krisan and Tanay, because they came on and they were like immediately, they already had like a certain comfortability between them. That, you know, like only like couples have, you know, that sense of like repartee and camaraderie.
But what's that sort of criteria? Like you look at the guy and because you don't have any audition tape per se,
Yeah.
but then how do you think, okay, this guy would fit in that role because he just has like 2.5 seconds to show?
I saw a lot of the previous work that he did. Like I went through his old worklings to see what sort of roles he performed and how is he doing it on camera. And basis that, then you can take a call because you've seen him in different avatars in his previous work. And also he did have a slightly less, his performance was smaller than the wife or the mother.
Of course.
So yeah, but it was important for me that when he does show up on screen, he like immediately exudes that warmth and, you know, that caregiver sort of nature that he has, that she's been talking about for so long. And I wanted to do that, which I think it sort of happens because the moment he comes in and he starts ties her shoelaces and then he looks up to her and, you know, asks her ready and like sort of takes her hand. I wanted that moment of connection between them. And also to, you know, just sort of show him as this guy who's like a perfect, in a lot of ways, perfect father.
Perfect, yeah. Like, I'm just loving the film. But tell me, I mean, like, how was the process? Like, what all props were required, and how did you do that in such a short span of time?
So this actually was quite shocking to me when everything came, like the script came my way at the same time. We both got the
Okay.
script together.
So you all were jamming
And,
together.
Yeah, more or less. Like we are figuring out, okay, if we have to go ahead with this script, what are our next steps? So we already started working on it. And when I saw the script, I was like, okay, wow, good film. But then when I saw the budget, I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
like now what do we do? Like we have to figure our way around it. So
He-
that's when you know that, okay, you have to now give in more than 100% to achieve something like this because our time period was so short, right? So when it came to us initially, my first thing was, okay, I need to at least figure out a location where we need to go. And because it was so cut to cut, every place that we called up and asked for availability, all places were booked.
Okay.
Then we thought like Mud Island or something, we'll take a bungalow, but obviously none of those fall into our budget.
Yeah.
So it took us a good, I think, half a day or a little more than that just to figure out a location. And then I started asking all other producers also. I'm like, guys, anyone knows anything, please help, because very cut to cut.
Yeah.
And eventually we did manage to find one place in Andheri. And I think the next day only we went for a recce, right?
The next morning we were already on location.
And we went for a recce, and when we reached over there was already another shoot happening. So we couldn't even go and move things around and, figure out what will work for us. So we just had to envision everything.
Did you just think of this, oh, it's just a home setup, it's just a room, so maybe we can just compromise on the quality or something like that? Did that come to you ever?
I mean, initially it did. I was even not, like at that point, I was like, shit, if there's no budget, like it's very less. I even suggested we'll shoot in my house if we have to.
Yeah, that's what.
But then obviously you don't get that
The
much
space, the
room,
wide,
right?
yeah.
Where your angles, your camera angles, everything. So obviously that wasn't an option. But
hats off to the entire Shbang Motion Pictures team. That
Yeah.
I mean, even though the budget is less, it doesn't reflect on
The quality
film,
of
the
the
quality
film.
because it looks
Yeah,
rich.
it looks
And hats off to that.
beautiful,
I mean,
like,
it looks
yeah.
rich. And I think that is only possible because everyone was there. Ki
Yeah.
boss
I
usko
know
bana
that's
raha
the
hai.
advantage
Yeah,
was
that
that
intent
everyone
was
was
there.
so hands-on on
Yeah.
this that even when we went for the first recce, like even though we couldn't move things around, so I think me, Gaurav, our whole art team, Anandi, Vicky, and Vedi, like
Shout
hats
out
off
to
to
our
them
team.
also.
Production design guys.
And
you
even
guys
Anish and Rushabh, the DOPs who helped us on
Yeah.
this project. I mean, everyone just knew what is needed to be done. So even when we went for that recce, even though we couldn't move things around, we couldn't even talk to each other that much because another shoot was on. And at that point, we are like, okay, shit, now what? Okay. Then we just started imagining things. Then what we could, then after that, we went down and we sat in the lobby of the building. And I think for a good 1.5 hour maybe, we were sitting down and just discussing, angles. Anish is lying down on the floor and taking it all in the lobby of the building because we are just trying to discuss which angles to take. And the watchmen are just looking at us like,
Kya kar rahe
what the
log?"
hell are these guys doing?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we
So,
are,
but how did you all show that shot where she's just, putting the camera in front of her? Was that shot by y'all or was she actually doing
no,
it?
so that was shot from the camera
Camera.
itself.
But
so
how
there
did she
was,
move that and show it like?
I mean,
Anisha
It looks
DP,
so
she just-
natural.
Anish is holding the camera,
Okay.
and then she's mock holding the camera. So it's just she's sort of, but he's actually driving
Yeah.
forward and putting it down.
Because I don't
so it
see
was a
cut
shot
over
where
there.
she's holding it and then she puts her hand down, right?
Yeah, like
So
she's
it's like
placing
as
it
if she's
somewhere.
placing
Yeah.
the phone and then her
Correct,
hands are
correct,
down. So the camera is then rigid, like at her face.
There's no cut there.
There's no cut, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe she's actually kept it. Then you all have put it on edit, the
But again, that's where
symbols and
credit goes to her, right? I mean, she made it also look so natural that we didn't have to, be nitpicking that no, aise karo, waise karo. She just knew what she had to do.
It's actually, but majorly I want to know, like, apart from the production process, were there any challenges apart from the time management and stuff?
I mean, yeah. Please.
I mean, I think the budget was actually a huge challenge because at every stage we were having to figure out a way of doing it while not trying to compromise on the film. I think for me the location was the biggest thing. Like even the location that we had, just to figure out the logistics of it. And I wasn't completely convinced also at the start.
Yeah, he
remember?
wasn't convinced at the location. But I
Yeah.
told him, I was like, listen, Gaurav, we have no
But
option.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've called every single place possible.
The one that you all finalized.
Which would fit in our budget. and I mean, this seems like our safest bet, and it's the only one which is available. So we literally have to make do with what we have. And luckily, I mean, they also did have like those walls. We could move the walls around
Yeah.
and everything, which kind of worked in our favor, you can say, fortunately.
Yeah.
And again, credit to the art team because
Right.
they managed to. We had to literally, repaint the walls in the morning before the shoot
Oh.
and set everything up.
So usually they have a day prior to set up where they are just sort of painting, propping, getting everything in. But because the budget was so tight over here, we had to sort of set up and light and then shoot and then pack up all in the same day.
All
and
in a
one
span of
shift.
12 hours.
12 hours,
12
exactly.
hours.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't even extend because if we extended, we would have to pay overtime to everyone, which we didn't have the budget for.
Correct.
So we literally had to be on everyone's head that, finish. Even I must have troubled him a lot in the middle. That,
the
Gaurav, enough, this is
styling
taking
also
too
got
long, this is taking
finalized
too
on the
long.
day of the shoot.
Same day.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another.
Oh my God.
Like the styling, the costumes, everything was getting finalized on the day, on the set itself. Like we have to shoot, and 5 minutes back the styling got
This movie should have been named Impromptu.
And the most funny part, like it's serious, but it's more funny part was like ki the belly would be here or here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took us a
Half
while.
an hour, 1 hour went into it like थोड़ा ऊपर करते हैं नहीं थोड़ा नीचे करते हैं. And then the
But
camera.
everyone had that doubt, right? Because she's not looking pregnant.
Yeah.
Even, I think Rachaita was messaging us like, guys, she's not looking pregnant. Please fix it.
Yeah.
Because we had sent her also a take, right, of what was happening, and she's
So
like,
do you all
"Fix her
have some
tummy."
intimacy coordinator or whatever? Like how do you all manage the way they look?
No, that is just
That's
now on the spot what we feel works.
Fake.
Yeah, experience is right.
And there was
Where was the intimacy?
yeah, there was no intimate
But
scene.
sort of like how do you coordinate that? Okay, this is how she should be looking. There
I
must be
mean,
somebody who must be just looking after that, right?
You meet people in your daily lives that look like this.
Just
reference. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there was this thing of how big should the belly be? Is it too big? Is it too small?
Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah, that we had to keep adjusting it.
She's
Like,
too pregnant.
she didn't have to look like
And it was
9
the
months
9th
pregnant.
month that you all were showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like
Hence
delivering.
we
in a
had
few
the
days.
liberty to make the belly as huge as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, twins है कि एक बच्चा है. But
And Pooja, I just want to know, like, before even coming to Shantanu, what was the brief given to you? How was it like, okay, this is what I have to do? Like, right at the beginning, when did you all come up with this?
So actually, when the brief actually came to me, I was not even aware about the brand that it's gonna come to me. Like it was like, "Acha, Metro aa raha hai. Now you are going to work on Metro. You are the team lead on it. Okay, in another 5 minutes. Acha, soon there's a brief." I was like, "Arey, brand download kya hai?"
So you were not working on a brand.
No, it was a new brand.
So
right?
wasn't he?
Yeah, so wasn't he? Like it was a new
Yeah, this
brand for all
brand
of
just
us.
came
Just
on
came
trial.
in.
This is the
Trial that
first.
they were
Yeah,
doing
it was
with
the
us.
first
Yeah, it
project
was like
with
a
them.
trial, you
Yeah.
can say, what they were doing with
Trial
us. That
period.
let's see if these guys do a good job here, then we can continue working with them.
It was like the first
So it was
project
like a
with them.
test for
Yeah.
us as well, which was put us under even more pressure. Because you're like, we have to nail it anyhow so that we get more,
You
continuous
build
business
that
from the
relation, you
client.
build that trust with the agency. Like we can deliver with so much intent and work.
And this is the first film that we did
Yeah,
for.
credit to them. They also trusted us
Yeah.
very quickly, and like, we had like this shorthand between them where things were like quickly. If they gave us some feedback, we could sort of be like, okay, fair enough, and let's do this. And if there's a different change or we feel a certain way, we can put that forward, and then maybe they consider it, maybe they don't. But
True.
we settle it.
yeah, one of the beautiful part of this was like the turnaround time was so less, and उसमें सबसे बड़ा हाथ उनका ही है.
Yeah.
Because they were on board.
On board with us.
with us, and they were running with us equally.
Yeah.
तो although like say इसका approval देना है, उसका approval देना है, वो बहुत फटाफट था.
And they were
इसलिए-
quite understanding, you can say. I mean, we did so many hiccups we faced in pre-production also. Like, even costume trials, right? That
Yeah.
whole mishap that happened. So we had sent the style, like given
That
her the
also
brief
happened
and
the same
everything.
day with the
So
stylist.
this actually was supposed
Last
to
night.
happen the
Yeah.
previous day,
Yeah.
where the stylist was going to the actors' homes and doing their trials and sending pictures to the client, for approval. Now Chrysan's got approved, I think within an hour or so. They were like, "ठीक है, this works, this doesn't work." So you're like, "Okay, good." Then they were going to Tanay's house, and the guy met with an accident. The rider who was going with the
Oh
clothes.
Lord, okay.
So he couldn't even go to his house. So that whole problem happened. And then the client is like, no, guys, we have to do it. We have to do it. You're like, but listen, this has happened. There's nothing we can do
And it was
about it.
already like 9:30.
So we have to figure it out. Now, since that happened, obviously the stylist at that point also had very limited time to,
Yeah.
arrange for everything. She did what she could. Then the next morning, in fact, and we called everyone a little earlier so that, if time goes in figuring out his costume and it doesn't work out, then again she would have to go out and, buy something from somewhere else and come. And at that point, in fact, I told Gaurav then the previous night that, bro, let's see, even I'll just try getting some clothes from home if I have to. You also get something if you have.
Oh, you all got
Yeah.
So I
the.
woke up in the morning and I woke up a bit late and I was in a rush. I'm leaving. I left my house. I've gotten down. And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot to take the shirts. I've gone back home, just opened one bag, just dumped like maybe 7-8 shirts inside. And there was one more shirt which was just lying in my cupboard. I was like, take it, not take it. I was like, doesn't matter, just take it. I put it in. And we went over there, and fortunately, out of everything, that last shot which I wasn't gonna take, that is the one which the client had approved.
Thank God. you did it.
Perfect.
So literally, like it all just worked out so smoothly that later on, once it got approved, also the stylist came to me and she's like, "Thank you, like, you literally saved our time and essence." And we were like, "Good,
Yeah.
like
And
everything's
for
falling
the,
into
for the
place."
lead girl, she.
Hers had got
Hers,
locked
yeah,
the previous
previous
day.
night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got clothes for her.
No, that luckily the stylist could reach to
And
her
she
place.
was under so much pressure that Aman, no, please figure it out, मैं मर जाऊंगी, this, that. I was like,
For one shot.
yeah, no, she was very stressed because obviously, right, the client is talking to her.
Oh no.
And she's like,
It was
"Kya?"
all like next morning we are shooting and it's already 10 in the night. We don't have costumes for the guy. I mean, like what to do?
And even when
That the
the
film is on
client
him.
sent shoes for him, like for him to try out the shoes, even that I think the
Yeah.
shoe size was smaller.
Yeah, so the shoe also needs to fit to the to the cast.
When did the product come in?
The product was on the day, like whenever they needed, because we had it VFast, lucky. Bombay.
So that
we
was
have
sorted.
VFast
Really
facilities.
saved us
I mean,
quite a bit.
seriously, like we could deliver it to the same day. The size didn't fit, then we sent back that shoe. We got another pair. So I got another pair, the actual size on the shoot day. Yeah, hoping that we asked the client like, एक और size लेकर आना, इसके अलावा कल को ये भी fit नहीं हुआ. So we had 3 sizes for each pair.
I can just imagine not having shoes for the shoe brand on the shoot day.
That would be devastating.
Not having shoe to chod. Like we walked in on the set, me, Pooja and Aman is there. Client. अब थोड़ा monitor लगा सकते हो क्या? Monitor लगा सकते हो. Pooja looking at me, I'm looking at Pooja. We both are looking at Aman. Aman, monitor.
Monitor का
Yeah, my first reaction was पैसा दो, आपको
Monitor
जो
आ
चाहिए
जाएगा.
मैं दे दूंगा.
Then I think we
Shogun.
Yeah, we had a Shogun, but still, I mean, ideally, when we have
So
a
we
budget,
didn't
you
use
have
a
a proper
monitor.
monitor. We didn't even have a
Then
monitor.
Pooja on other side Zepto, like okay, थोड़ा सा peanuts, थोड़ा सा lays, थोड़ा सा chips, थोड़ा सा
Because वहाँ पे
cold
भी
drink.
हमने budget cut किया था. There was
Yeah,
no
I mean, we
snacks.
had to literally be as cut to
Where
as
do you
we
cut
could,
them? The
right?
craft table. What else do you
Tuck,
do?
tuck, tuck,
So I'm
tuck.
ordering Zepto कि clients को
shout out to Zepto. So you all use the shotgun instead of a monitor.
Yeah,
Shogun.
Shogun.
not
Shogun.
Shotgun.
Shogun.
That was
We
on
were
our head.
that was
Shotgun was on our head. कि नहीं दिया तो उड़ा देंगे.
Both shotgun, shogun, both. Okay, and
Yeah.
ये पूरा shoot shogun पे हुआ full.
Yeah, I mean, no, they had to view it, right?
Yeah.
The client
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to view the
Viewing
take to give approvals.
But must be very difficult, right, without a monitor.
I mean, not really.
know,
It's more or
it's
less
just
the
a
same
smaller
thing.
screen,
It's a
that's
smaller
all. Yeah.
screen.
That's
It's like a TV to an iPad, you can say.
Plus, it's a monologue. Not many people are in the frame.
I mean,
Yeah,
realistically, on set there is a monitor, there is a shogun,
Usually
all
it's
this.
there, हाँ.
But we, I mean, went one step ahead and like नहीं आप हम जो कर रहे हैं वो आप करो. You know, हम जिस पे देख रहे हैं आप भी उसी में देखो.
How did the client react to all of
अरे
this?
they were
They
on
were
board. They were
very
game. They were
understanding.
Luckily, they were very chill.
They were game.
But they also
would
knew,
have an
right, the
idea.
budget is low.
I think they
so-
would have an idea. Like
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they saw us only running around, like
Yeah,
if
he
they
was-
wanted to see Aman
They
would,
were like,
you know,
"Who's this
go
boy?"
out himself instead of getting us.
Yeah,
if I had to call.
I was a mix of everything you can say. I was a spot boy on
Spot
the
boy.
set. I was a producer. I was everything.
So
I
client
think
was
they
like
could
इधर
see
ये
us.
चेयर लगवा देते, इधर ये कर लेते हैं, यहाँ पे हम यहाँ पे बैठते हैं. तो मैंने अमन को पूछा, अच्छा अमन स्पॉट बॉय कौन है?
Yeah, I
Aman's
was
like,
like, मैं ही हूँ ना, मैं
Shout out to Aman being the coordinator, line producer, short dada, producer, and
I think
Yeah, that's
more
a
than
lot.
that's a
Even for him, like he's the director, okay, so he has to only concentrate on what he's doing. But we didn't even have a DA with like anyone
Yeah.
to assist him. So the DA is usually the one who's working with the cast, you know, that
yeah.
do your makeup now, come for this shot, come for that shot.
Yeah.
Bichara, he only had to sit and go and do everything.
Yeah, brief them.
Gaurav did it all.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? You know, like you want to. I was just going back and forth between their trial rooms, making sure their trials are like done, making sure they are like starting their makeup already because I need them on set.
Yeah.
And I think at some point even they're like, why is the director coming to tell us to get ready fast?
Gaurav is like, Pooja, tell her. Pooja, now
Yeah.
tell her, come on.
Because at that
Tell her
point,
to come out.
I would tell my second, I don't care what she's doing. I need her out right now. She can do everything else on set.
Okay.
But then I was like, okay, who do I tell? Okay, cool.
And did you all like immediately briefed her in the entire cast, like, or separately? Like?
Yeah. So I mean, I saw that she had done already a good job in the audition. So I didn't want to like meddle already too much because I saw that she already got it, and I didn't want to like put my stupid opinion on whatever she's doing. So when she showed up on set, we'd given her the script, and I went and I spoke to her, and I was just like, listen, you already have it. And I told her what I liked about her performance, so she knew what is working for her. Like what was working, I told her was that first of all, though it's a monologue, but there's a really nice graph. I don't know if this is natural to you or not, if it's conscious or not, but if it's not, I think you should make it. Where you start off the monologue, it's almost like a 3-act little thing happening in the monologue itself, where it starts off light-hearted, where she's saying, just go with the flow, Ria, and she's laughing, and it's a moment between them. And at some point, then it becomes about we were pregnant together, and at that point, it's the point where the emotions like really hitting her, and you can feel the weight of her pregnancy and them together going through this thing. And then at the end, again, I wanted to end it on a lighter note. So I sort of told her that, vaguely, I know it's a monologue, but try and hit these beats. And you're already doing it, so just continue doing it. And apart from that, I didn't really have to do all that much, honestly. Like, she was already pretty good. I was just like, what you're doing, just keep doing that. And yeah, that's all. Like, easy job.
Did all of you like have that can't believe this moment like on set or before production, post production, whenever? Was there like any moment ke अरे अच्छा okay?
That throughout our
Yeah.
pre-production we were like, अच्छा okay,
ये भी है,
okay, अच्छा ये भी problem आ सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. Even on the shoot we were like, okay, like hiccup after. And main thing was time, right? Time was of the essence. Even during shooting, that's where my blood pressure kept rising. I was like, shit. One more take means this is going to take us 1 hour more. And I had to tell them that we have to wrap up by say 6 o'clock or something because we had to again repaint the walls to the original color of the studio.
Oh.
So that also takes time, and that time was also included in our booking time, right? So if we went beyond that, they would charge us extra. Which
So literally
obviously
you painted the walls?
No, not us. We had the art team.
Art team.
So they had the guys who came and did it.
Because we already spoke that the director was going and telling everyone कि अच्छा ये
नहीं,
करना
उतने भी
है,
बुरे
ये
दिन नहीं।
मुझे वहाँ paint भी आप
उतना भी कम बजट है.
Please.
We had
अच्छा
all the professionals needed on the set.
अच्छा अमन की तरफ वो wall
मुझे लगता है कि ये सब challenges के बारे में सोचने का वक्त ही नहीं था.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just कि बस deliver करना है.
करना
This is one opportunity which is given to us. And I think film का opportunity कोई भी छोड़ेगा नहीं. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कोई भी agency हो या फिर anyone who writes it or anyone who makes it, no one would leave something, an opportunity like this. So everyone wanted just to deliver a good product, good output there.
But do you all feel that because we have less time span, we can deliver better because वो pressure में we can, like he was writing in 15 minutes, so वो ज़्यादा easily,
I mean, it
we
depends.
can.
It
Yeah,
can go
depends.
either
I
way.
can go
right?
here and
It
there.
can
Could have gone
it's a
either
hit
way.
and a miss.
Yeah.
It
That's what I said. Na? Every script has its fate. So वो ऑफ भी जाता था फिर it would have been on a right path also. It would have taken a negative turn as well कि क्या लाया, क्या किया, मतलब उतना अच्छा स्क्रिप्ट लॉक हो रहा है यहाँ पर और तुम क्या, where is your brief, where are you taking this brief to?
Correct.
That also can happen, but it did not, luckily. So
and
I
when
think
did you all feel ke, oh, this has come out the way finally we thought it would? The script did justice, the product did justice to whatever we thought.
I can't ever tell because I spent too much time with it. I've gone through that monologue so many times. I've seen her taking it, and on the edit table, I've seen again all of the takes again. I've seen like different shots, different versions of the edit. So by the time it comes out, I am completely desensitized. I genuinely, I'm like, I know it's working in the moment, like on set. So you just like at that moment
Yeah.
it worked. Now I can't expect it to like every time like wash over me and I'm like teary eyed, you know. So it's like, but then the thing
Yeah,
is,
we had to literally show everyone else in office that, you know,
That's
okay,
when you
guys,
start.
once the edit was ready, that what do you all feel? We took views of
Okay.
all the other producers, directors who were present in office. You know, Gaurav went showed it to them also. That guys, what do you all feel? Took their opinion that, you know, what can we fix, what can't we fix. So literally everyone's mind, bit by bit, came into it. Eventually, you can say.
yeah,
And this happens with all your projects.
yeah, that happened, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much
more or
happens.
less. I
This
mean,
is the yeah.
I mean,
This is your-
it's something like who can predict future, right? So I mean, even when I was writing it, I did not realize that it will create such an impact or it will be a thought-provoking film. I mean, all these words that I'm speaking right now are borrowed because I really did not know that how this will turn out. It was just a conviction that I have seen something in my life. I am writing about it, and I'm delivering a certain task given to me. Similarly for him, similarly for her, similarly for him as well. We are delivering the task that is on our hands.
Correct.
But how it will turn out, how people will perceive it, I mean, no clue about it. I mean, but
You can never tell.
yeah, you can never tell. But yeah, वो एक था कि okay, we are convinced with this, we are confident about this, and I think it's a very new perspective to talk about because every Father's Day film again is being talked about like old fathers.
Yeah.
You know, it's been spoken about. So we were trying to figure out ki
how to break the
how to
monotony.
break that
basically.
monotony and not make it about like Papa, मतलब you know, father
Yeah, he's
kya hai.
gifting me this.
Yeah.
I'm doing this
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Not that same
Expressing
old
the love
blah, blah,
and
blah,
all of that.
And it's very unsaid, like because father's love is very unsaid love. Like वो हम like नीचे से उनका रिचार्ज भी करके आए तो भी it's something like पापा के लिए प्यार है. You know, you bring something for him, you give him a watch, or that is a very standard thing. So how to break away from that? And I think this POV coming from them, ki, you know, let's work on something from a pregnant woman's point of view. And then a father who is already in the making. So this perspective was different, and I think that is
Yeah,
what
this thought
That
itself
is
was a
what-
good. Whoever
yeah,
from the
yeah,
client
correct.
side thought of
Yeah.
this, kudos to you.
crazy.
Oh yeah, they came up
Yeah.
with him and they went.
The
for-
insight of having it, you know,
From a point
for
of view of
POV
pregnant
and-
women was
yeah.
from them, but then the silently pregnant father was from me in terms of because that was the perspective change and narrative shift which I felt that connected with the audience that watched this film. And I think that's about it कि कैसे वो अच्छा लगा लोगों को, तो वो एक था. बट अल्टीमेटली वो डिलीवरिंग ही था कि टास्क इट हैंड है कि इसको डिफरेंट कैसे करना है. And yeah, I think equally everyone worked on it to make it different.
I think time management, though, you all have done fab on it. Good job, guys. Fab job. But apart from that, you all have done so many different ads and feature films. So how was this project different from the rest of the previous projects that you all have done?
I mean, different. I mean, for us, actually, each project is the
Correct.
same because our process is the same. But given the time crunch that we had and the budget, hats off to everyone. I mean, the entire
Definitely.
team, right from the scripting till the post production, like even the editors and everyone who literally sat hands on working on everything. Good job overall. And that's the advantage we have, right? That everyone is so closely working with each other. So it's not like कि अच्छा मेरा काम हो गया अभी इसका problem है. That's never the case. No.
Correct.
It's like everybody is well involved right from the start to the end, which obviously
Like even
works
even
out.
when I mean the cast were locked, I think one day prior to PPM or shoot, he called me and said ki, listen, I feel like we should do this film थोड़ा रात को. The timing of the film also mattered.
Okay.
कि we should do it in a day film, or we should do it an evening film, or we should do a night film. I mean, the night film will look more visually appealing.
But how does that differ in an interior setup?
The lighting
Lighting.
changes.
Lighting changes.
Lighting changes,
Yeah.
the mood changes, right? Like
Mood
the entire video ka mood depends on your lighting. So that also is a very important factor, which even on the shoot day, in fact, they were still figuring out कि
Yeah.
थोड़ा
Day
शाम
shot,
टाइम
हाँ.
शाम का टाइम रखना है, थोड़ा दोपहर
But
का टाइम
booking
रखना
6
है.
बजे तक की थी.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
lights
so
could have
the
been
lighting
adjusted.
we had
right?
to
The
figure,
lighting
we had
could
to
have been
adjust.
adjusted, but what day we want to show.
Yeah, but the night time we did not go with the night because again the darkness, it depicts darkness. So I mean the film is all about new possibilities and it's a good feel good film.
Yeah.
So that evening golden hour
Sort of.
is something that is more it uplifts you, and if you see that in frame it is a nice goldenish warm tone to
Warm
it
tone.
which also lifts up the mood. So I mean with the color theory and everything,
Yeah, like
that it
design
just
tone
lifts the
also
mood.
plays
So
a
that's
major
why I
aspect.
think
Yeah.
we went ahead with it. So, yeah.
And apart from that, I just want to know, like, what is a piece of advice you all want to share with the people who want to work on such projects?
I mean, you should just have the right intent. Like, whatever. See, hiccups are going to come anyway. Like, even if we had a good amount of budget, you don't know what kind of hiccups we could have. Like, the stylist thing that we faced, even if
Yeah.
we had a lot of budgets, we could have still faced that challenge,
It's like
right?
there's always a way around
Yeah.
things.
So you should have the intent to deliver it. Eventually, you will find solutions
And
to
patience.
that. Yeah.
I think
Of
patience
course.
was key for all
Yeah,
of
for
us.
all of
over
us.
here.
Definitely.
You asked me what is different about this was also the fact that it was just a simple like narrative moment between two people.
Yeah.
Like often in projects, as a director, I'm like enamored by like interesting shot taking, and we'll treat it this way, and
Correct.
the camera's gonna move like this, but here it was just about this woman, she's talking into camera, and you had to just sort of let the performances breathe and let the actors just take over and trust that the emotion will come, and if it's an honest take and an honest performance, we can hope that the audience is equally affected, which I think is nice because
Simplicity hits.
yeah. Sometimes
Simplicity is
less is more,
So I was
especially
literally just thinking this one. I was waiting for you to finish and I was going to say less is
Less is
more.
more.
And
You're like
then
synced
my-
also now after the
see,
film.
we think the same also now.
less is more.
and
Production
no
effect.
advice is good enough for anyone. I think it's all how
It's
an
a
individual
learning
takes
for-
it and bas kaam karo yaar, dil se kaam karo. I think everyone
Yeah, you put your
everyone
heart
does.
and mind to it.
Yeah,
Everything is achievable. Yeah.
And everyone was like very supportive on the
Yeah.
set, which is why you all could deliver it in time.
Yeah,
also.
literally everybody, like right from us to even like the lighting team, the art team, camera team. I mean, all of them were also so understanding. And plus, they also gave so many opinions, right? That how you should light it. And we took
Correct.
everyone's thoughts into consideration. So, which is good.
Yeah.
Because even they have the knowledge. They've also worked on so many films over the years. So, to take their opinion also, which some of them did actually work out our way. So,
And also, interestingly, all the HODs inside of the crew are also in-house Schbang. Like Anish is our DP and he's our in-house DP. Anandi, Vicky, whether he are like our in-house production design team, producer, director, like everything is like in-house, so
In-house,
it becomes
yeah.
very easy.
To coordinate and
And because we've worked together so much, immediately we sort of know how to, and I can like easily trust them and know that I like just with a clean conscience I can get on set and be like, okay, I know my team is going to figure things
yeah, that
out.
trust factors there. Like even art-wise, we were really nervous that
Yeah.
how is it going to look, because we couldn't do a proper recce, we couldn't figure out the place,
Yeah.
overall how it's going to look. So the art team also did a very, very good job, I would say, considering the time also, right? They literally had one day just to go roam around, figure everything out. So
Also for the in-house part, sorry, there was a different creative team here
Yeah.
working on the brand, and me stepping into from a different zone altogether. So exactly, like we wanted to bring this project home, and that was the entire psyche in mind. So that's why
It's not like तू कर रहा है तो तू ही
तू ही कर रहा है, हाँ, वो
तो
ऐसा
तेरा ही
ego
है।
कलेश
not
नहीं
the
था
way,
उधर
yeah.
कुछ।
So that's the
पहले, हाँ,
advantage
कि-
Shbang has basically. It's like everyone is
Yeah.
so
involved
involved in
yeah.
everything that everyone's there to help whenever
Yeah, that's
you
why वो
need it.
पूछा भी गया, मतलब एक I was the back seat पे I was sitting and thinking about a different brief altogether, and that's when someone from a different asked me for a different brief altogether, which is not even my brand, like, or
Also, what
not
happened
handling.
to your other brief? You were working on 2 briefs at
Oh,
the
it
same
got
time.
made. It got made. It was
also
received
got
well as
made.
well, but
nice. So now y'all are also going to work on Metro.
No,
But the
It was
major
just for
brief
this
that I was
project.
working on got shelved, and that was a bummer. Yeah, and this worked out. So I walked in the next day when this meeting happened. I was like, karma, देख karma.
Expect the unexpected.
किसी और क्रिएटिव टीम का तू चीज उड़ा के लेके जा रहा है और तेरा निकल गया। But ऐसा था कि यार, I mean,
Okay, Shantanu, say some words for the team जिनका approve नहीं हुआ.
Oh.
Yes,
नहीं,
go
it's
for
a
it.
good work,
I
it's a
want you to
beautiful
say
work.
a few words for them.
नहीं, but I mean, see, ultimately we are all part of Schbang.
yeah.
We are Shbangers, and it was a beautiful script, to be honest. I'm like, I sat with whoever wrote it. Like, I think Elsa wrote it. I sat with her. She told me and she narrated it to me. It was a beautiful script. There was nothing wrong in it. It was just that every script has its fate, and it reached somewhere it had to, and it got made. That वही है. There is nothing that I wrote it इसके लिए वो हुआ या फिर किसी ने लिखा इसके लिए नहीं हुआ. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I think this was more in line with what they wanted to do as a brand for this year, and I mean it got picked and it got made, and वो attitude था towards doing right. So that's it. But kudos to anyone and everyone who's working here, because I think at the end of the day, everyone wants their work to come out and everyone wants to put out a good work, and so did they.
And you all stepping in and helping them. That
Yeah,
was
I mean, yeah.
adding more effect to it.
I mean, see, tomorrow you can write something and it can just be good,
Definitely.
better than my story. And I think merit wins.
There has been a lot of cases in Schbang, like previous to this also, where somebody else has written something for some other brand they're not
Yeah.
working for, and it has gone live. Like,
Correct. I mean, I'll take a cricket analogy because I've been playing cricket all my life, and individually score करे या टीम के लिए कैच पकड़े,
Exactly.
तुम खुद अपना एक रन बनाओ, टीम का स्कोर बढ़ेगा. वो भी है. So उसमें
The
individual.
writer in Shantanu has kicked in.
No, the cricketer in me has kicked in.
yeah.
So that's it. But yeah, that's the philosophy that you make your runs. I think team will benefit from it, and also look after your partner who is on the non-strike. कि उसको रन आउट नहीं करना है, उसको साथ लेके चलना है, तब जाके टीम बनेगा,
That's the team.
स्कोर बनेगा. तो वही एक philosophy that I follow.
You basically elaborated teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, true. Nothing can happen without a team. Nothing. I mean, you cannot fight anything or war single-handedly, unless and until you are playing chess.
Fair enough.
Were there any people in the entire process whose first project this was, and like they have anything to like? Did they tell you all anything about it? कि oh okay बहुत मजा आया working with you all, like, and this is the first time we have done something plus in 6 days, delivered in 6 days. Wow. Nobody
really,
who's like
not from
Delivered in
company.
4 days.
fresher. 4 days.
So
Short.
Tuesday we shot.
Okay, let's talk about the dates now. It was shot on.
Tuesday.
Shot nahi. It was scripted on which day?
Chal, I'll tell you. It was locked on 8th. I think 8th of June.
June.
Okay.
8th of June. Okay.
9th, the casting began.
Okay.
8th, 9th, the casting began. 10th, I think PPM, first PPM, everything was done. 11th, we
For
shot.
people
10th
who
morning.
don't know
11th
what's a
morning.
PPM,
Huh?
So
For people who don't-
Pre-production meeting
Yeah.
with where everything is
You
lined up.
discuss
Ki, this
everything
will
with
be
the
the
client.
costume, this will be the light, this will be the
Okay.
set. ऐसे दिखेगा, this will be the way the film will be
So
made.
10th tak this is sorted.
Yeah, it was a Sunday. Also, it was a Sunday. We
did
did
a
work
PPM on Sunday, I remember.
Yeah, we
that
did our
whole
PPM on
weekend we
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
We went for a recce on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, we went on Monday also after.
Yeah, we went for one more day actually. We did two rounds of recce.
Okay.
And we shot then on 11th, right?
Yeah.
shot on
So Monday
Tuesday.
we were
Yeah.
planning to
Yeah,
shoot,
11.
I think, but you said ki no, I need one more day.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted us to shoot on Monday, but we told them that guys, there's so much we have to
Yeah,
figure.
the location
And
was
if we
also
just
not-
rush into it, our turnout may not be that
You all
good,
shot
right?
on 2 days.
No, we
No,
shot.
one
The
day.
client wanted us to shoot on Monday.
Monday.
One day prior.
Because they had that timeline pressure, right?
Okay.
That we have to
Correct.
deliver the film. But Gaurav said that, nothing doing, let's just push it by one more day.
I'm getting credit for this. I don't know. I don't
Gaurav
remember.
said
No,
that
because
no.
I remember you
remember
told me this, that we need more time for the PPM
Yeah.
because you had to work on the deck, right?
Yeah.
And he gave that confidence.
Yeah, I mean, finally we had to do another recce. We had to source costumes. Art had to, source their props. So usually, anyway, the timeline's so crunched. You want the departments to get a little bit of leeway so they can show up on set more prepared. So yeah, and we had that in the timeline. We could spare a day, just prep ourselves so we can go shoot, and then everything goes much smoother.
Correct.
And the thing was that Father's Day on 16th, 16th of June. June, no? June, sorry.
Last month.
June, last month. And not supposed, we are not, making the film live on 16th. We have to make the film live on 15th or 14th because script में ही वैसा है कि 16th जून के लिए वीडियो बना रही हूँ. तो वो और जल्दी देना था.
Yeah,
so that
14th they had to go
14th
live.
we went live.
और जल्दी देना था. तो 14 को they went live so that it's coming on the 16th. So say Tuesday, that is 11th we shot, 12th, 13th we edited.
Damn.
And I think 13th night it was roughly done. 14th I think it delivered.
14th was the first cut or
No,
like
14th
done?
we delivered. We
first
went
cut
live on
First cut was 12th
12th.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
We reached office in the morning, started editing, and by I think evening-ish we gave them a first cut. Then the feedback came back and forth, तो वो सब 2 दिन चला. And by
14th we went
14th
live.
morning we were ready to
Shout
give
out
them
to our post-production team also. They are also in-house.
Everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's also
everybody.
in-house, yeah.
And what passion I'll tell you about this guy. I'm like, you won't believe it was a 12-hour shoot. Say morning I think 6 to 6. Okay. And after the shoot got wrapped up, he called in for a wrap up and he was like, I'll head to the edit right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
See?
That
Yeah.
He just said. He
You
just
were
said
planning to-
But
He's
he's
saying that.
No, I haven't said that. You did that. You did that. I think we
I wanted that to
You
happen.
wanted to. You wanted to.
I wanted to actually get the editor on set and we can start immediately.
He did say that. I mean, I was just listening to it. इसको अभी shoot edit करना है. मैं बोला क्या यार क्या बंदा है. मतलब वो चलता है ना. वो जिसने किया नहीं वो अलग
This
बात है.
also,
दूसरे दिन
Gaurav, remember we
सुबह.
had a problem with this also. So when we sent the hard drive to the editor,
Yeah.
the hard drive wasn't reading on his system.
Dhak 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 dhak.
And you're like, shit,
Oh,
this
shit.
can't be happening. Like everything has happened now. Whatever could go wrong went wrong, and now you're telling me this. So we usually
If we
keep
press
2
the
hard
record
drives,
button.
right? Like we have one master drive and one backup drive. So I sent the backup one to him. He's like, boss, this is not working. What do I do? I was like, shit, let me try sending you the other drive. I sent him the other one also. He's like, well, this is also
Not
not
working.
working. And at that point, I was like, game over. Like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing anyone can do. We
Shit
have
just
to
got
figure a
real.
way out. So Sunny, who was the
हो गया
editor,
Father's Day.
so luckily for him, I mean, he then spoke to one friend of his. His friend came. His friend helped him out. How to figure it out and how to copy all the data, like recover all the data. They did that, and then the next day he came and he began editing in office, and I was like, shit, thank God, you literally saved us. So good job to Sunny also, where he.
Yeah, we just
Stood up where he had to,
configured
right?
for Mac, and then he had to
Yeah,
change it to.
it wasn't compatible to a PC basically,
yeah.
the hard drive. So the guy
Oh,
who had
that's why.
initially started the drive, you have to make it compatible to both like Mac and this thing Windows.
I can just imagine Pooja's reaction. मैं तो मर रही हूँ. मैं तो नस
She
काट
would have killed me only.
We don't
with this
involve
stuff.
them in like this.
my God.
Obviously, we have.
Yeah, that would be my bad. Like the whole thing would come on me that this is where you fucked up.
But it was never ending.
Yeah.
But just imagine reshooting it.
No.
That wouldn't be
That-
an option. पैसा ही किधर था?
No way.
Then that would go out from our pocket if we had to do it. Then the
But
whole
then
thing.
you all resolved this on the same day, of course.
Yeah.
Luckily, that night till I think 2-3 o'clock, we all on call just figuring out
2-3
what to do,
o'clock
what to
in
do,
the morning.
what to do. Yeah.
Whoa. Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is there anything that we are missing out on the process?
Do you guys want to talk about the reception of the film? Were you guys expecting this? How did it feel when, like appreciation began to come in?
Oh.
I mean, I had zero expectations. I was like, मैंने कर दिया वो गया. I mean, see, again the philosophy comes in where you have done your work, it's gone, it's past. So you work on something new. Okay, and I was there. I was working on something new, and I think I took a break. I went for a vacation after that. Because I had not taken a break for a long time, so I went on a break. And I went to give you just over. I had this long hair. All right.
Yeah.
You had this long hair
He
before
came
the
back.
shoot.
And
I came back
he
like
came back and I saw him. And I बोला भाई
Shoot
ये
effects.
किया?
I don't
before
want.
after हम edit में
उसके
दिखा
बाल
देंगे.
गिर गए टेंशन
I don't want any baggage. हो गया मेरा काम हो गया मैंने कर दिया अभी कुछ नया करते हैं बस उसी एनर्जी से मैं आया ना शेप डॉट देना था कि उधर रह गया और यार ये फिल्म को ऐसे देखा जा रहा है ऐसे रिसीव किया जा रहा है वो सब एंड
Yeah, a lot of people appreciated, reposted the content on their
Yeah.
feed.
Like even social media wise, a lot of
Yeah.
pages that reposted
Yeah.
the video,
Oh, lot
like
of people
critics
did.
and all, and they were giving their views on it. So overall,
Lot
it
of
did very, very
appreciation,
well.
So you all posted on 16th morning.
No, we posted on
14th.
afternoon.
14th only.
Yeah.
Okay.
हाँ,
I think
थोड़ा
one of the
buzz
major
create
reviewers-
करना
Buzz
पड़ता
create
है ना,
करने
so
के
before
लिए.
the day, like before Father's Day, basically.
also one of the major reviewers like Karthik Srinivasan sir
Yeah,
also he also picked up the post and I think gave it a big
Boost to all of us, yeah.
for all of us
Yeah.
internally and we then realized okay it's
Okay,
something
it's actually working.
we have done
Yeah,
something
yeah.
I mean that really boosted our morals and I think that gave us a real big jump.
Can you just mention who he is?
See, I also don't know him personally. I would love to meet him. I think he's a very revered figure and legendary person. Karthik Srinivasan.
Advertising, yeah.
In advertising, Karthik Srinivasan sir. I've never met him, but whatever he posts, and I think a lot of people from advertising look up to him for his reviews on advertising.
Okay.
And I mean, he talks very
Insightful.
bluntly and very nicely about certain projects. And I think for advertisers, it's like Ganga, कि वो जा रहा है और तुम उसमें से कुछ ले लो. तो वैसे था. And he wrote something, and it got picked up naturally. I mean, we did not give it. I'm not sure that we gave that film to him or to read out or something like that.
No, yeah.
No, that on his own, I think.
On
he
his
shared,
own,
like,
and-
he came across it and he posted about it on.
Yeah.
Did he
himself.
write
Yeah,
something?
he
Can you all
wrote.
quote that? Like what was that exactly?
And he was just talking about ki how like the insight that we spoke about.
It's
like
how different it is.
Yeah, how different it is. How it's another take, a new perspective that we've taken of a woman talking about her journey and supported by her partner. So it was the most appreciated part.
Yeah, he overall liked it and,
And
he
of course, the
praised it in
brand
his
integration he mentioned, it was very subtle. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And he did mention the flaw also, which was rightly there. Flaw as in a little bit part where criticism, but it was a constructive criticism where the brand integration into that. But I had a view of while writing it that the brand should come in when we are doing it, and for a pregnant lady bending down to tie the shoelaces.
somewhere it lifts the role of the father also here. Like he's coming and tying the shoe, which is actually a insight. Like pregnant woman cannot literally bend at her 9th month period.
Correct, of course.
So actually, it's lifting up his role in the story as well. Like he's coming, tying the shoe, supporting her. And
I think that post changed the outlook towards this film in terms of everything that was done. I mean, it was out there on 14th already, but then it got picked up on 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
It took 3 days.
Yeah, it took 3 days, and that is when we realized internally, अच्छा यार ये सही outlook है, मतलब कि it's a fresh perspective, तो किसी ने किया नहीं है, और वो silently pregnant is something new and
Very fresh and
very fresh.
different.
I mean, there are negatives to it, there are positives to it, जिसको जैसा लेना है, but वो मेरा एक observation था, जो हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है.
Correct. And
किसी
what
के
were
लिए
the-
किसी है, किसी के लिए नहीं है. Yeah.
And what were the specifications added on the go? Like as both of you all mentioned कि अरे हमने तो ये add किया था like during the shoot.
I mean, some
That
dialogues
was mainly
were-
script-wise.
yeah.
A few
Script-wise.
dialogue
Yeah.
changes which had to be
Just
done.
additions in the dialogue and
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And were those a lot or like
Not
just
really.
manageable.
manageable?
Yeah.
I think there was a line in the old script which they wanted to
Back,
revive
yeah.
in this one, and so we did an extra take with her giving us that
Yeah.
version of the
Old
line.
script as in the one that
No.
the
It's an old draft of the
draft.
script.
The first draft
okay,
what
okay,
he had.
okay.
Yeah.
I think there was 7 to 8 drafts of it. 6 to 7 drafts of it.
revisions.
Revision. But what were the drafts about? It was just about the words. लाइक इस हिंदी वर्ड को इंग्लिश करो, इस हिंदी वर्ड को इंग्लिश करो, and that was the
word को
change.
English
English करो,
okay.
and those were the changes, and there was
अच्छा,
just
you
one.
had written pure Hindi.
I did
ऐसा बोल
somewhat.
वातावरण है ना?
नहीं उतना
Like
ऐसा.
mood swings and lifestyle, such words were English.
Yeah.
Yeah, but जो बाकी का पूरा मोनोलॉग था वो हिंदी में था.
लाइक हाँ, मतलब ये वीडियो बनाने का जरिया, आई मीन ये वीडियो तुम्हारे साथ रहे, ऐसा सब था. सो आई
Like
थिंक
he's
दिस
used
वीडियो
word
शुड
like
बी विद यू काइंड
zimmedaris
ऑफ
and all of that in the script.
very
So yeah.
Yeah, like the look and feel of the
Look and
characters, it
feel
does
of
not
it.
go with that. That wouldn't go with it.
Like
would not go
Hindi,
with
yeah,
Metro
would not
itself.
go,
Like
yeah.
they are little uppity and nice
Yeah, urban, upper class.
upper class. I mean, yeah, everyone can wear it, but the feel is rich. I mean, it comes out premium, and that we wanted to continue with the film as well.
Got
I
it.
mean, so that was the entire journey, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely haven't seen such a pregnant to be father film before, and it was like fab, and that was like the first thing that we also took up on the Schbang page.
Okay.
Like I saw the movie and I
Yeah,
was like,
I was
"Ye
texting
to-"
Bhavika.
I had no clue who you were. I think we met a day prior to this
Yeah, correct. Like the day before briefing.
Yeah.
But that was something that even we thought. And plus, Metro as a brand, we had not posted much about it, I think.
But
This
it
was
was
the
the
first
first project,
Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
so we wouldn't have-
And now,
yeah.
So
So I
that's
was
what-
like, Bhavik, I completely forgot to send you like in prior. So I think it was a weekend anyway.
Correct. Yeah.
So I was like, ek to Sunday, I don't know if she'll reply,
Sunday, correct.
not reply. I was like, Bhavik, will you post, please?
नहीं हम तो पूरे weekend भी होते ही है active, so you can just call me whenever you want to, guys. No,
Hey,
not
one
all.
second. What do you think about the reception of the film? What do you think?
I mean, I was
How did it turn
pleasantly
out for you?
surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. You don't expect it.
Huh.
I didn't expect it either. I just knew that it's a fresh angle and it's an honest performance. And then, I mean, we can only do that, and then
Yeah.
the film has its own fate. So honestly, I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be
Yeah, I
picked
agree.
up. No.
I feel Shantanu
mean,
is
I-
very intrigued by what the director wants to
Yeah,
say.
I mean, it looks so simple. The film looks simple, right? But I mean,
The thought that they've put into it to deliver.
it's very difficult to make something look simple.
Yeah.
That is a challenge, and I think kudos to him where he made it look simple. It is not.
Kudos to all of you all. Like
yeah,
I just don't feel ek, but the entire process
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah.
just hearing it for the first time, and I'm just loving all of it. And when I'm just hearing it as a host, I can visualize what you all have done through the process. Okay, ye hua rahega. Okay, he went in place of the DN. Like, come out. Like, abhi shoot karna hai humko, please. Like, I can just imagine all of it, visualize all of it, and yeah, that's great.
Chalo Gaurav, jaldi. I have
Just
to
last.
work on some other brief now.
Okay, guys, so thank you for listening to us. Thank you for reaching the end of this ramble session that we call a podcast. And from all of us here, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
it's a wrap, guys.
Pack up.
Pack up.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Pooja here. Since we've done Creative Debrief for Metro's Father's Day Pregnant Together, the episode is live on YouTube, Schbang's YouTube page. Please do watch and subscribe.